Hello. I wanted to send this little video out to explain a little bit about what we're calling the family planning team. When we had our town hall meetings last March, I shared at the beginning of the presentation the current realities of parishes and the life of the church for our Archdiocese. Those realities involved number of parishioners, a population shift from rural to urban, the number of priests and what the projections of our priests serving in the Archdiocese are. And I shared how our current family, our Catholic family of parishes, which is All Saints Parish, consisting of St. John the Baptist in Fordyce, St. Boniface in Menominee, and St. Joseph's in Constance, along with Holy Family Parish, consisting of Saints Peter and Paul in Bow Valley, Immaculate Conception in St. Helena, and Sacred Heart in Wynot, and then St. Rose of Lima Parish, which is just St. Rose of Lima Church in Crofton, how our current 7 churches, our 3 canonical parishes, will become part of a bigger family of parishes. We now know that family of parishes is going to be our 7 churches, along with St. Andrew's in Bloomfield, St. William in Niobrara, St. Wenceslas in Verdigris, St. Ledger in Creighton, and St. Ignatius in Brunswick. So we'll have 12 churches, a total of 8 parishes in our family of parishes starting next July 1st. So in preparation for that, and we're just one of 12 families in the rural portion of the Archdiocese, which is essentially everything outside Fremont, Elkhorn, Omaha, and Bellevue. And so the rural area of the Archdiocese consists of 21 counties. We have a total of 23 counties in our Archdiocese. And in the rural, there will be 12 families of parishes. Each of those families was directed by the Pastoral Planning Office of the Archdiocese to put together a family planning team. The Archdiocese actually appointed one priest to act as the convener of each of those family planning teams. I was appointed the convener for our family planning team. And then the team itself consisted of 4 people from each of the 3 regions. So we have 12 people, 4 individuals from our Catholic family of parishes. Those are Karen Leader from St. Rose, Dave Lecker from All Saints, Eric Derrickson from Holy Family, and Jimmy Chang, also from Holy Family. Those 4 are also my pastor's leadership team. So we meet weekly as our small team, but the family planning team for this new family of parishes is been meeting monthly since June. The 4 priests that are on our family planning team are myself, Father Andy Fahn, our associate pastor, Father Jeremy Hands, who is the pastor of St. Ledger's in Creighton and St. Ignatius in Brunswick, and he's now also currently for this year the administrator of St. Andrew's in Bloomfield, St. William's in Niobrara, and St. Wenceslas in Verdigris since Father Casito has moved. Father Casito left at the end of July from the Archdiocese of Omaha, and he is now a priest chaplain in the U.S. Air Force. And then Father David Mahagaha is the associate at Creighton and Brunswick and assisting with Bloomfield, Verdigris, and Niobrara as well. Our family planning team, as I said, has been meeting since June 1st. We have to submit a plan for our family of parishes by November 15th to the Archbishop. The Archbishop is taking all of the plans from each of these family planning teams throughout the Archdiocese, rural and urban. I mentioned just the 12 in the rural, but there are also urban families. And all of the families have to submit it by November 15th. And I just wanted to share a little bit about what is going into this plan. The diocese has given us a template to follow. It's about 65 pages in length. And it's not only a template, but it also gives us parameters that we have to follow as we put together our plan. The first part of the plan is just general information about our parishes, the names of priests, names of any deacons that we might have, locations, and all of that. But then we have to give a current assessment of our parishes in terms of being missional. I shared with you in March at the town hall meetings how we are been given a goal by Archbishop Lucas that by 2026, all the parishes in our Archdiocese will move from maintenance to mission. What does that mean? We have essentially managed a decline for the last many years. We've managed maintenance. We've just maintained what we have, but we haven't sought, how do we build back up? How do we bring people that have left the church, walked away from their Catholic faith? Maybe there's those that weren't Catholic but are interested. How do we bring people back to the church? How do we build up the church? And that's what it means to be missional. Are we flourishing communities of faith? Are we helping people become saints? Are we helping people get to heaven? A parish isn't just a place to fulfill a few obligations. I think there's a sense, I had the sense growing up, that if you're Catholic, there are just certain things you had to do, and then you're good to go. If I made Mass on Sundays or holy days, if I helped at this event or that event. But we're called to be much more. Like as parishes, as churches, as parishioners, we're called to be flourishing. Well, what does that mean? Well, are we helping people become saints? Are we helping our young people? Are we helping adults? And I know faith journeys are personal, and everyone's at a different place. And it's not about everyone being at the same place, but it's about everyone realizing what's most important is that I do give my life to Jesus, that I am willing to lay down my life for Jesus. Does that mean you have to be a priest or religious or a Jesus freak? No. It means whatever you do in life, many of you are called as husbands and wives, moms and dads. And as husbands and wives, moms and dads, you have all kinds of different jobs and occupations, from farming to medicine to law to accounting to whatever it might be. Awesome. But are we growing in our faith in whatever vocation God has called us to? In whatever path of life God has brought us to? Are we living a life of faith where we're growing in holiness? We're seeking to turn away from sin and build up the virtues, become disciples, become apostles that are helping others do the same thing. And that's not being intrusive in other people's faith walk. It's about sharing our own life of faith, how Jesus is so alive in our life, and we want others to experience that. I love a quote from St. Paul VI, who said, "Modern man learns from witnesses. And if he's learned from a teacher, it's because the teacher is a witness." More than ever in the world today, in the culture today, we need people who are witnesses to the faith. It doesn't take much to look around and see that culture is beating us up. We see that Christianity, Catholicism, is no longer the mainstay for people that guides them in how they live their life. We see people that maybe go to church, but then live the rest of their life disconnected from their faith. And that's not what Jesus desires for us. It's not what the church desires that Jesus instituted. And so we need to, part of our plan is to take a very serious, honest look at assessing our parishes currently. How are we doing in actually being missional, in being who Jesus has called us to be? And that looks at many different things. It looks at, our adult faith formation, our fellowship, our being welcoming and hospitable. How do we promote the dignity of every human person? Are we mission-oriented and really seeking to be missional in our religious formation, in our Catholic schools, in our youth ministry, in our sacramental prep, whether it's with little ones to adults in RCIA? Are we forming disciples? Are we helping people encounter Jesus and fall in love and be excited to live their faith, talk about their faith, share their faith to their degree of comfort, to be a witness to others? The next part of the plan is probably the most difficult. Difficult in the sense of our new family of parishes is a big area when you think of the space from Wynot to Brunswick. And so in the third section, we focus on our family governance. We have to choose a particular model. At our Catholic family, our model is we have a centralized office in Fordyce. We do have an office at the school at St. Rose and at East and West as well. But we've worked together to have one council for our Catholic family of parishes. I have one leadership team, those four that I mentioned, that we meet weekly. We talk often, communicate often, because of the many moving parts in parish life. It's in this area, this section, that we also have to discuss what the Mass schedule will look like in this new family of parishes. We'll have to discuss the confession schedule. This is all part of this plan that we then have to submit to the Archbishop. We are working through it. We are praying through it. I wanted to give you this little update so you have an idea of what is this family planning team and what are we doing, what do we have to do. But I'm going to do more of these short videos to keep you updated as we progress. The diocese, the Archbishop, has given us particular parameters that we have to follow. And those parameters primarily deal with the governance and Mass schedule and so forth, because the Archbishop is being very firm in wanting to set our family of parishes up to be successful in being missional, to be flourishing. None of us like change. I understand. Will there be changes? Yes. Do I know what they all are going to be? No. And we will keep you informed, and as we work through this plan, I would ask you to please pray for our family planning team, for this family of parishes, but also pray for all of these family planning teams. Pray for our priests. It can be difficult because we understand not everyone likes or understands why we're doing this massive planning and what will result in quite a few changes. But as priests, we're doing our best to shepherd, to be in that place between you as parishioners and what the Archdiocese is guiding us and instructing us to do. And sometimes we do have to make hard decisions. As pastors, I like the term, the difference between reward-based leadership and responsibility-based leadership. Reward-based leadership are leaders who make decisions in such a way that they just want the people to like them. Whereas responsibility-based leadership, leaders have to make decisions that are in the best interest of the big picture. Leaders have to make decisions. In my role as a pastor, I want our parishes to be missional to help people get to heaven. I don't want to get to the gates of heaven someday and be asked by Jesus as a pastor, did you work and seek to get every soul to heaven with my help and grace? And I have to be able to say yes. I want to say yes because I want you all to be saints. I want all of us to grow in holiness. Will there be difficulties? Yes. As I said, no one likes change. But we're going to have to pray for each other and help each other through the changes that will come in these new families of parishes. Please know my prayers for each of you, my love for each of you. God bless you.